Well, got in and went out in the yard and picked a pear. Um, and I did tell you at one point, I have a pear tree out here that I bought from a company, and they're no longer in existence because they kept to the customers sending them dead trees or sending them the wrong trees. But at any rate, this tree, I'm not sure 100% what type it is. It was purchased as a Bartlett. And if any of you out there see this pear and recognize it, or have an idea what it could be, I would appreciate it. And here it is. The bag that's around it is a like a protective bag to keep the insects and birds off of it and the squirrels and all that sort of thing. Keep them off of it. Now, this here is too tight. You can see it actually opening the bag. The pear is so big, and I'm gonna tear it open. And we've got that torn open. Okay, now there we go. It is a dark or greenish pear. Does that look like to you a Bartlett? Please leave comments. Does that look like a Bartlett to you? That's very hard because it's not ripe. But it does have a good amount of size to it. It's got a good weight to it. Feels like the weight of a 12-ounce soda. And it's very healthy. You can see the little scoring that the bag put on right there. Little scoring. And the bag, the pear is, when I eat them sometimes, they're very good. They're very good pears. And they had quite a few this year on this one particular tree. And I'm growing it right next to another tree called a Delicious that was purchased at Stock Brothers. And I'm kind of sure that tree is what it's supposed to be. However, I don't remember when I purchased it. It's probably about 4 years ago. It has not produced as of yet. It hasn't produced yet. But these bags I won't get again because they're just too small. And it is incredible. Now, what is this right here written right? Oh, okay, I see what it is. This was a bust. This was $16. I got 100 bags, and none of them fit the fruit. The apples were busting out of them. The pears were busting out of them. So I don't even know why they made them that small. So on that note, give me some feedback. Does that look like a Bartlett to you? And if so, I appreciate the feedback. If not, you might recognize it being something else and say, oh, that's just a green pear or a sugar pear, whatever you call it. This is been on that tree like this ever since. They never turn yellow. They've never turned yellow. They've never turned any blush with the yellow. It's just always been kind of like a greenish color. You bite into them when they're ripe. They're juicy. Not really water like pouring from them when you bite into them, but they're sweet and it's a good pear. It's a good pear. But I purchased a Bartlett, and I hope this is what this is. But at any rate, there you go. All right, folks. Thank you. This has been the Morning Garden Show. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I will come back again. If people want to see me, that's how I look at it. If people want to see me here, if people want to see me, listen to me, ramble on about gardening and all the things I've learned in the last 20 years of gardening, you can make that very, 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 very prevalent. Let's see. Yes, that looks right. You're saying it looks right, what, as a Bartlett or as something else? Yes, we do. Oh, okay. I appreciate it very much. I appreciate it very much because I like being on here. But lately, I guess a lot of people still in the house and dealing with the, pandemic. I hate to keep bringing it up because it's everywhere. Everywhere you go is all over the TV, it's all over the radio. Who cares? Right now, we just want to get through this, and they keep reminding us that we're doomed. Really, I don't think we're doomed. I just think that it's a part in history that's just really been really rough on all of us. And the garden kept me going because I started garden 20 years ago. I didn't do like most people do. I started 20 years ago. I said I want a garden, and boom, when this pandemic hit, everybody was saying a garden is the best thing to have. I have had friends and people at work saying to me how to start a garden. How could I start a garden? And it would be nicer if they paid me something for the information, but I'll give it away online free, but I won't come to your house and test your soil and test your lighting and test your pH. And then you say, oh, here you go, handshake there. All right, take care. I had to pay for my gas there, and maybe a little snack I want to get before I get home. Not much, just to, look out for each other. But this is a Bartlett, is what we're saying. Are we agreeing that this is a Bartlett, or is it just some kind of pear? But not a bad tasting pear. Keep in mind, this is nice and heavy. And, I'm coming in late. Good morning. Good morning to you as well. I really appreciate you stopping by. And now you got me on here. Yes, Bartlett. Yes, Buttercup. Buttercup said it is a Bartlett. Because when I got it, Miss Buttercup, I want to tell you what I did. I paid $10 for the tree, $9.95 to be exact. They sold me a bunch of trees that were the wrong trees. I kept going through flips and flips and flips and flips with wrong trees with them. And also, they sent me trees that were dying. Let me tell you something else they did. When I got the tree, near death, I would order it on a Monday, and it would be like 3 or 4 weeks later I would get it. Uh, there's a place called, oh God, what's the name of it? I just called it. Stock Brothers. Never was any of my trees I ordered from them in the mail for those 4 weeks. And when I would get it, I had to from this other company. I had to drop it in the water, soak it for 4 to hell. I even soaked some of them 8 hours just to make sure they wouldn't die when I put them in the ground. This tree here, and I want to tell you a little story about it, and I'm gonna make it short because I know I can ramble on. Um, it was so near death that even when I put it in the ground, I said, "This is not gonna make it. Look at it; it's dried up. It's got a little bit of green in it." I said, "Well, put it in the ground and water it every 3 days, and see what happens." And I put it in the ground, and then one day I had to move it because it was in the wrong spot. And I said, "Don't move it because it is not going to help." Anyway, I put it in the ground, and sure enough, sure absolutely now, this tree is dead. I said because it was about this thick around as this pencil, and it had no leaves on it. And then all of a sudden, after being in the ground for so long, folks, it developed a tiny, tiny bit of leaves. No, spurs. It looked like spurs they were. And then they kept growing and growing, and then they turned into leaves. Leaf buds is what they call them. And when that happened, it just kept going on and on and on. And next thing you know, I had 2 leaves, and then 6 leaves, and then on, and it was more, and then it grew and it grew, and then once it started getting taller, and it got 4 feet tall, and it got 5 feet tall, and 6 feet tall. Then I went down to where my knee is, just from the ground up to my knee. I cut it off at a 45-degree angle. That was somewhat worrisome, but I um, uh, uh, got some information from a channel that said this is what's that place they grow all kind of fruit trees. This is hello. This is I can't remember the name of it. It was a company that goes on there. Don Tree Company, no Don Fruit or whatever. They're all around, and they say anyway, cut the tree off at so many inches, 18, 24 inches, something like that, and it will leaf out at the lower parts of the leaf, and it will allow your tree so when it's growing up to keep the branches right in your reach. And it did that, folks, because the tree is like that now. Yeah, it might be 20 feet down tall, but it is a dwarf, and it is a beautiful tree. It's about as big around. The thing is that it's about that big around, And it was not like that, folks. It's like amazing transformation. When I bought it, it was a tiny little tree, the thickness of a pencil. And now it's got fruit all over it like this. And I'm proud of it. And so I care for that tree. It's one of my absolute favorites. And it produces a meaty piece of fruit. Like pears are meaty pieces of fruit where you can bite into it, eat. If you're hungry, it'll actually fill your belly. And now I have 10 apple trees. I'm getting ready to take out some of the they call peach, cherry trees because they're not producing any cherries. I got three trees that are not producing any cherries. And something's saying, wait a minute, hold on. I just don't know what they match with. I don't know what the trees match with. One tree produces all these cherry blossoms on it right next to my Bing tree that's about 12 feet away from it. And it will not produce any of the cherry. The one tree will not produce cherry. It produces the blossoms first, and then on comes the Bing tree, Bing cherry tree, and now this one's dropping cherries when the Bing tree is coming on. So I know that they're not a good match. So I bought another tree that produces, I can't think of the name of it, it produces cherries without any other tree. It's designed to do that. And I was hoping that it will actually, do well. So this year it produced one single cherry. So it's letting me know that I'm getting mature enough to start producing cherries. So if push came to shove and I take out the three other cherry trees, which I hate, because they've been in there so many years, like 6 years, they want to produce, but I cannot, or I haven't found the cherry tree to match them with. I'm in Santa Hill, North Carolina, and do their container garden on a porch because the deer are eating everything in the yard. Now, what could you do for that? I heard a remedy for keeping deer away from your fruit trees and your vegetables. It's called, it's a real common item. I want to say ashes from the wood stove, but I don't want to give you the wrong information. Um, I can't think of it right now, but there are a ton of videos on YouTube that'll say how to keep deer away from your fruit trees the natural way, or something like that, and see if that might be able to help. I hope that helps you. Let's see. I think the pounds of sugar. Let's see. Dwarf peaches. I said, 3 years old and 15 feet tall. 20 peaches for the next year. Squirrels taking them all. Wow. Oh my goodness. And I'm gonna tell you what's going on. Yeah, all loud and donate. I say, yeah, out loud and I'll donate. What do you mean? Yay! Okay. I don't know what that is. Okay, y'all are allowed now donate. But what's going on here, folks, it's an amazing thing. It's an amazing thing to me. I have how many peach trees do I have? One, two, three, four, five. Five peach trees. And here's the problem. Little itty bitty little peaches. And I know about thinning them. I know about thinning them, but this time around it's not really helping. I'm thinking that these peach trees I have are really close together. They're like 22, 23 inches apart. And I planted them really close together. No, wait a minute. No, they're about 3 feet apart. Yeah, and they're growing nice and big and everything, but and they tall, but they tips growing. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, that's what they meant. They're gonna. I appreciate your show and the tip. And see, and here I got on here today, and I said, no, nobody really want to hear my show because today I said that because when I get on here, I usually get two people, three people, whatever. And I've been gardening for 20 years, and I got quite a bit of knowledge. I don't mind talking. As you can obviously tell, I get on here and I give you the straight run. But here is a very good lesson that people should be growing as much as and right now downstairs. Excuse me, in my garden, I have all kind of things growing out there. I got tomatoes, and I got watermelons, and I got Swiss chard, and I got a stray tomato plant, huge plant, one single seed. I don't know what tomato was from, but it took off and grew. And I just let it grow. It was in a pot where once it started raining in the pot, then it took off. And I said, this looks like a, a pot that I don't know why, but it's cool. Hold on, folks. I got to go get me some spray because I got a wasp in my house. So let me get them taken care of. I'll be right back. I got them, folks. Didn't take me no longer a time at all. And they coming in. That time they will get in here, and I got rid of them. No more wasps. I hate wasps because I don't want to get stung. But apple trees. I ate one yesterday. Beautiful, beautiful apple tree. Please don't forget my uh, call question. Okay. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Let's see. Tips for growing sweet corn in clay soil. My corn is growing, but it's short and already tasseling. All right, let me tell you what I know about corn. That's the question you're asking about corn. Very heavy feeders. I grow mine in a circle because they need to cross pollinate. If you grow them in straight lines, they will pollinate each other, but it's just better when you grow them close together and you put them in soil that hasn't grown corn last year or whatever, because they suck a lot of good stuff out of the soil. Corn does. And then you want to grow them in the circle so that when you get those windy days, they kind of support each other and they don't blow over and break off and all that sort of thing, because they're prone to do that. Um, Corn. What kind of corn did you grow, by the way? My poor peach trees lost several large branches in the recent storm. I wish I had thinned more. Yeah, that's going to happen. It's going to happen. If you have peaches on there, and uh, that's my favorite right there, peaches and cream. Yep, that's my favorite. That's my favorite. I could pull them off the stalk and eat them raw. That's how sweet they are. Where I grow them at, I'll say that, because it was another person that's on YouTube that got me into them. He's called Farmer. God, I don't remember the man's name. I hate that when it happens. Um, Garden Rebel, Garden Rebel, Garden Rebel. He sent me some seeds, and I really did appreciate that. And he sent me peaches and cream. And when I grew what he sent me, I was hooked. I said, I love this. And now I get seeds from him every year. And I said, wait a minute, made an error. I cannot save the seeds from it because peaches and cream is a hybrid. And it's not going to produce true to the parent when you do it that way. So anyway, uh, it's a good seed and good when it grows. You want to grow corn in rich, fertile soil. rich, fertile soil. If you use cow manure, use that. Rabbit manure, use that. Horse manure, use that. And you loosen the soil up. You put the seeds in, and they produce these this beautiful big cobs of corn. Um, and you want to pay attention to the third and fourth leaf. They got like leaf stages that they go through. That when they're up to the knee, you're supposed to have so many uh, um, leaves at that point, three or four. Um, and when you let them grow, you get your corn. Some people don't get corn; they'll grow it and grow it and grow it, and it just won't grow right because they will they will put down a granulated organic fertilizer, and when they put that down, they'll say, okay, that's it, and all I need to do is water it. I put mine down, and I water it once a week with a liquid fertilizer. So they're always getting that boost at the end of the week. They get that boost. A fish emulsion and I think they like nitrogen. So you you give them granulated fertilizer, and then once a week you give them a liquid feed fertilizer, which is could be, like I said, fish emulsion or seaweed, fertilizer, or a homemade fertilizer made for weeds, like I do. I make my fertilizer for weeds, which is 1 part weed tea, and then 9 parts of the of water, and then you water them in real good, and they do really well. But they need to eat. They need to eat. Same thing with watermelon. Let's see now. I started my tomato plants from 3 slices of tomatoes. Okay, so if you bought the tomatoes, where'd you get the tomatoes from? 'Cause some people get them from the grocery store. Those are usually those are usually hybrids. When you get them from the grocery store, would grow. But this is just to see if they would grow. Yeah, they'll grow. They'll grow a hybrid, and the hybrid are higher producers, not really a superior tasting tomato when it comes to you eating an heirloom. You know, I say punched from product standard, purchased from product standard. I don't know what that means. Purchased from product standard. Okay, I'm not familiar with that particular establishment, but um, you can grow them from slices. Some people even take seeds out of peppers when they grow them, when they get peppers from the grocery store, and those are hybrids because they grow them for pretty much color, size. They're not really grown for flavor. I'm sorry to say that they're not. They're designed to get you to purchase, and once you purchase, then the deal is sealed. But yeah, tomatoes are grown in grocery stores for what they look like, how the firmness of them, how long their shelf life, they can push it to last. But that's how they do it. It's just a place where people sell local produce. Okay, I got you. I got you. I'm with you. It's good to find out if you're growing a hybrid or you're growing a heirloom, because sometimes it's kind of hard to tell. I think I answered everyone's question. I think I did. And I got a person here that appreciated me. They sent me a donation, and it's been like months since I got a donation. No, wait a minute, it might have been a year. Yeah, about a year, and I appreciate that. That was very nice of you. Let me know that there's still people out there that want me to keep this show coming because at first I was like, you get on there, there's no one there, so just give it up. You like to talk, but you get on people's nerves. And some people, when they get on here, they're entertaining. But when I listen to their facts, and I go, wait a minute, and they're always sending you to a store. or they'll send you to someone that is one of their on site buddies, and they'll say, "Hey, go to this person, M.I. Gardner or somebody like that," because they like the guy. Um, and so they're actually they're business people. Some of them are business people. I put it that way, and they really don't care if you grow anything or not. They want to keep you. Um, M.I. Garden, Morning Garden says, "Are you my garden family? Hi, Morning Garden. Hi, Morning Garden. Are you? Hi, my garden family. Hello, how you doing? Miller's Garden." And I really had a good time when I got online, and I had a person tell me, "Hey, we do appreciate your show," you know, and I was like, "Wow," because uh, I still love gardening. Well, my garden got out of control this year, folks. Everything's growing everywhere out there, and tomorrow I'm going to go out and I'm going to cut all the grass, cut all the weeds, and get that stuff cut down. I wish I'd have stuck to my guns and actually bagged up the grass clippings this year and used them as mulch around my plants because not only they keep the soil cool, they keep the soil fed, um, and that's something you want to do. All right, good people, this is the Morning Garden Show. Got to go in here and get me something to eat. But I appreciate every last one of you for stopping by. And remember, as I said earlier stages of me doing these shows, I found your show because let's. I found your show because Let's Farmer and Backyard Gardener. Your stuff. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I had no idea that. Let's see. I found your show because of Led Farmer, 73 and Backyard Gardener. You know your stuff. I don't know what to say. I just don't know what to say. But I do know one thing. I know I'm obsessed over it. I know that. I start growing as soon as winter comes, and I start growing my plants. But I learned now I'm not going to do that. I'm gonna wait because when you got to take care of those plants all through the winter, that's rough. I mean, you can still get them big enough if you go out there and get them at a certain time of the year. Yeah, yes, heard about you from Lead Farmer too. Oh my goodness. I gotta let that man know that I appreciate him putting the word out on me. I appreciate that. Cause I mean, wow. And he had a tree up in his yard, a citric tree. I believe it was at his sister's house. And I mean, you should have saw it, folks. The load of fruit that was on that tree. My God, she put it in the right spot. She did something right because that tree it was doing what it's supposed to do. A lot of us could only hope that we had a tree that could do what her tree was doing because my trees that are doing good, I have some years where I mean I got 10 apple trees, folks. 10. There's no way I need 10 apple trees. Trust me, because it's only me eating the apples and pears. So, and the peach trees, they've done something weird where they're not really producing much of anything. They're growing healthy trees. They're growing tall and they're growing leaves and they're healthy looking, but there's no fruit really on them. One tree I put in, no, excuse me, three trees actually. I put in and they grow plums. They loaded up with plums and then they dropped off. And I said, okay, got to do some research and find out why did that happen. Was it temperature? Was it nutrients? What was it that caused this tree to drop every single uh, 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 plum? And the plum that's known as keep this in mind, folks. The plum that's known as the backyard gardener or backyard garden or gardener's plum tree is called a Stanley Plum, folks. It's known for being a plum tree that will give you what you want. It's called a Stanley Plum. Stanley Plum. Grows a ton of plums. It's more suitable for a backyard garden. And that's why I said it is a more appropriate type of plum for a garden. All right, good people. Thank you very much. I mean that for all your support. And you see me come up here again, you might want to chop in. And some of you are actually subscribed to me, so you'll see me come in, and you'll say, "Oh, that's a guy that talks a lot about gardening, and he's really excited about it when he's talking about it." And that's it. And I'm glad to see that we got a gentleman on here that likes peaches and cream corn, one of my favorites. All right, good people, this is the Morning Garden. Thank you very much for tuning in. You have a good day and keep on growing. Keep on growing.